Hello, great minds. Yes, finally we are here. We are having our first podcast, the June edition, and I'm glad to have a great mind here. Yes, I would want him to introduce himself. So quickly, sir, let's know you, sir.
All right, my name's Joshua Amana Abraham Opao.
Wow, that's awesome.
I know people don't know those two names in between. Yeah, so I'm into the media, particularly I'm a writer.
Okay,
Uh, I'm a writer, I do graphics design,
right.
general stuff about media. Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
wow, that's awesome. So quickly, I just want to dive into the media space, seeing that
Okay,
you are having broad knowledge in this aspect, and I want you to do justice to this. He's actually the head of media at the Pillar Church of Glory. Now, if you're seeing those nice videos, you're seeing those designs, okay, he's the senior man that's pioneering all those things. That is actually making all these things to happen. It's not easy to lead, so kudos
yeah,
to you, sir. More grace.
thank you very
Yeah,
much.
so quickly, I just want you to help us by telling the audience out there how you finally dived into media totally. Because before now, I knew that you had this just this normal skill. Probably I know you are into graphics design.
Hmm.
You're doing just graphics design. So how did you gradually enter into media? And I'm seeing the passion like it's so strong. Just in a few minutes.
Okay, so I started to write at a very tender age. I just love to write stories.
Okay.
Yes, and because I love to write stories, I wanted to see how to put those stories out. At first, I wrote a book. That book had gone through some editorial processes, and it was at the last stage. That was in 2015
Yeah.
when I discovered that after some months, I read the book and I was like, Omo, I have passed this book's level. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But then I used to write on Facebook once in a while, but it
Okay.
was not really serious writings.
Yeah.
So I wanted to write and have my writings like images. Do you understand?
Okay.
So I now started to learn how to use Canva in 2016.
Wow.
So using Canva in 2016, I would just put my write up, my stories, and just pour it on Canva.
Yeah.
I would just write my poems and pour it on Canva.
Super.
Nothing else. I was just doing like that. Later on, I now decided to see that if I was writing, I had pictures in my eyes.
Coming.
Yes, coming. So I said, okay, let me delve into photography, phone photography,
Yeah.
thanks to Stephen Arudi.
Wow.
So I don't know, but people don't know a whole lot about these things for me. And so I started to take photography in school. When I take those photography as I'm
Okay.
seeing it, then I'll now put a write-up under it, like that, like that, like that. One of the persons that made me to know that writing was something important was Pastor John Onekele. We just closed from his service one day. And before we left that service, the Holy Spirit, while the service was going on, Pastor John was preaching, and then the Holy Ghost told me, don't leave this service.
Mm.
You understand?
Yeah.
And so I was hungry, my friend, and I was like, Awawa, and I was like, okay, let's go out to go and get something to eat. So before
Yeah.
we could come back, unlike Pastor John, the service is supposed to take longer than normal. Before we could come back, service had finished.
Wow.
And the next thing I would see was, Papa is looking for you, Papa is looking for you, Papa is looking for you. So I went to go and see him. That was 20, I think that was 2018 or 2019, 2019 thereabout. And then Pastor John was like, Joshua, make sure that you write everything that happened in today's service. I want to see everything that happened in today's service in
Okay.
writing
Yeah.
and send it to me tonight before 12 o'clock. And bro, I did not write anything. Everybody I asked in that service did not
Yeah.
write anything
Anything.
during the service. So I had to sit down in the house. How the inspiration came, I did not know. I just
Wow.
asked somebody in church, what the pastor talk about, and then the person was like, the person just gave like two lines or the topic
Yeah.
of Pastor John said, and then I went home and began to write. I began to write that night. I submitted everything some minutes to 12 a.m.
Yeah.
with the pictures and everything, and then Papa was like, "Oh, thank you very much. It was fine." I was expecting to get some corrections, all those, and I knew he would go through it.
Yeah, of
But the
course.
next thing I would see was that Papa posted everything that I sent to him word for word online. That's when I knew that okay, this writing was something serious. So after that time, he would always ask for my writing, always ask for my writing, and then like that. So because of that, I began to have flair for graphics design in 2021.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And then from there, introduced to the church media. Then I had passion too for media. So I think that's how my journey
Wow.
started. Yes.
I'm very sure you learned a lot from this, right? It started gradually, and I'm seeing massive results like right now due to the consistent
Yeah, thank God.
approach you are using in what you're doing. So quickly, let's go for a short break. So when we come back, we'll be diving into the questions, and I'm very sure so many questions have been going through your mind for a very long time. As he's answering probably a particular question, you'll be answering another one that is going through your mind. So let's see you later. You're welcome back to the second session of this podcast,
Yeah.
and I'm still here with Sir Josh. Let me call him that way.
Thank you.
Yeah, he has been a source of inspiration to me. Okay, let me share this story quickly. I was serving at that time, and Josh will always reach out to me and say, "Hello, Paul Johnson, please can you help us with this design?" I kept hearing stuff like that over and over again. And one time I discovered that he took it upon himself and started working on himself on designs. He never told me about it. There's something I discovered about him. If he really wants to learn something, he would go deep to make sure he learns it. You understand? And he told me one time, and I cannot forget that. He said he don't really like disturbing people to do stuff for him. He just feel like he can do it himself. And man, from that time, after I was done serving till now, he has been doing the masterpiece you're seeing, all the designs you're seeing on the peculiar page. You can go and check it. He's the one doing it, and that is a huge source of encouragement for me. So quickly, let's dive into the question. You are doing well, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right. So the first question is, for some just starting out and trying to break into the media or influence it, what are the rules this person needs to follow? Are they rules? The person is just starting out. What do you think the person needs to do to influence the media space?
Okay, I think if you are looking for rules like in books,
Okay.
like we have rules and laws in our secondary school, I think you may not really see them.
Okay.
But then there's a general rule to life. And the general rule to life is be serious at what you do.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, develop passion for it. You know, there are people that have passion for something and then after like 1 year, they just relax. After like 6 months, they just relax. But passion is vision oriented.
Yeah, of course.
Passion must be born out of vision.
Yeah.
Passion must be born out of goals. Passion must be born out of purpose. So the first thing you want to ask yourself is, this thing I'm doing, in the next 20 years, where do I want to be?
Of course.
I think that's what to drive you, right?
Of course.
So first of all, vision. The Bible says, write the vision plain, so
Yeah.
that he that runs will read it.
Of course.
You must have a vision that even if you are not alive, people can run with it. That's how your passion can comfort. Passion. Number two, consistency. Number three, the craving for excellence.
Yes, yes.
Yes, you must have that craving inside of
course,
you.
you have to.
And then number four, finally for me, is dream big.
Okay.
Dream big. You need to dream big and not just stay at dreaming big. Work towards it. Work towards it consistently, passionately, and with your vision inside. I think that's one of the things that makes you to come into the media space. And then you need to find something that you are focused on.
Of course.
You can't say you do photography today, do videography
yeah,
today.
yeah.
No. You have to find one that you are focused on. You may do the rest though, but there's one that you are better on at.
Focused on.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Wow. Thank you very much for that.
Yes,
I
sir.
think you got it right. You need to have passion for what you're doing. Most times in my video, I do hammer on this word, passion. If you're not having passion for what you're doing, you get tired along the way. Consistency, right? And dreaming big. Of course, you might start with shabby cameras, but you will not end with shabby cameras.
Yeah.
Just make sure you are not saying, I will do it tomorrow, or keep postponing what you ought to do today for tomorrow. Thank you very much for
Thank
that.
you, sir.
Now, the second question is, algorithm has really frustrated those just starting out. Of course, I think that's frustrated you before.
Hey, that's frustrated me too.
Yeah, me too. So, in the media space, yeah, it has frustrated so many persons in the media space. So, how can they make the algorithm work in their favor? Does the algorithm really work in some person's favor? Can they make it work in their favor?
Okay, I think basically The algorithm,
Yeah.
recently, in my recent studies, I found out that the algorithm works for people who are quite controversial.
Okay. Wow.
It's the reason why a lot of bloggers lie.
Hmm.
You understand?
Just frame up something.
It's the reason why a lot of people incite fights online.
Hmm.
For instance, in football channels, you will just see them say, post something about say Ronaldo
Hmm.
or Messi because they know that that's where everybody's interest is. But this is how it works. Like you said, I was listening to a podcast you made before this one,
All right.
and they were talking about the fact that people used to tell you that do this kind of content.
Hmm.
This is the one that goes far,
Yeah.
right? But if you want to be in the media space, one of the things you should be looking out for is impact.
All right. Very
If you
important.
want to stay long, impact. So it could be that your niche is not something that
It's controversial per
is
se.
controversial or travels far. But one thing that the algorithm can never kick against is consistency.
Let's have the third question for our guest. Now, the
All right.
question is, what's one thing you wish the public knew about how media really works, but no one talks about it?
Okay. I think for me, one thing that has always baffled me is the way people expect quick results from media personnel.
Yeah,
I am not an advocate of being slow,
of course.
but I've been, at least I've been in the media space actively for some years now. And I can tell you that, sir, for any good thing to come out, it will take time,
Yeah,
it will take money, effort, it will take mindset, it will take creativity, it will take all kinds of skills, it will take collaboration also. So it annoys me, for instance, when somebody comes to meet a photographer to snap a picture and you just expect that in the next 2 minutes your picture should be out there for you, or you give a graphic designer something to do, and then when they charge you, you will now be like, is it not just to write something?
I'm telling you.
Is it not just to put the flyer? Is it not just to put the
Stop
thing
saying
here?
those words, please.
Is it not just is it just small business? Oh? Okay, if
telling
it's
you.
small business, then carry your flyer and just go to Canva and do something, or go to Microsoft Word, just type it, let them print it out for you. Do you understand? It
Yeah,
pains me a lot, sir,
of course.
because people go out there and they see very good designs,
Yes.
they see compelling videos, photographs, compelling write-ups, and then they'll come to you and be like, okay, write so and so thing for me.
Yes.
They want to achieve
that
that same result, but you don't want to pay the sacrifice for it.
That's wrong.
Do you understand? You don't want to pay the sacrifice for it. That's where I used to get blown off with people. I want them to understand that the media space is expensive. It's very
Of course,
expensive.
it is.
Yeah, thank you very much. So that's it.
Thank you very much for this
Yes,
clarity,
sir.
right? I'm
Yeah.
very sure you got something. Now, the fourth question, which is the second to the last, it's if you had the power, somebody like Tinubu, to fix one major flaw in today's media system, what would it be and why?
Okay, if I had the power to fix something in media space, it would be number one, the mindset of media personalities. For instance, bloggers who feel that you must fight, you must post negative content. It has always been like that
Yes, of course.
because there's a saying that says that negative news travels more.
Of course.
Obviously, negative news even brings more traffic,
Attention.
but it has caused so much harm to the society, corruption. See, if I had the power, like not the Agbado power, if I had the power, all right, yeah, what I would love to do is to eradicate corruption from the media space.
Okay.
All kinds of corruption. That's number one. Number two, to work on the pricing system.
Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah, because I feel that media personalities are underpriced a lot.
Very well.
Are underpriced a lot, and some people don't even know how to work on prices,
Yeah.
and so they need to learn how to price. So we need to. I feel probably there should be a system where media personalities are taught how to put a cost on their skills and how to put a cost on their skills and then go for more. I think that's basically what I would
Wow,
like to
that's-
change
that's actually
if I
awesome.
had the power to. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So probably I don't know, maybe you're aspiring to be our next president. I'll vote for you. So you pump more resources in the media
No,
space.
no, I leave that for the Tinubu and the rest.
No, just by the way, actually,
Right.
when it was talking about the pricing, before I ask you the last question and round up, I have suffered a lot when it comes to pricing,
Yeah,
right?
same here.
And I started with people pricing my designs for 1,015, right? But then I've overcome them. So the last question is: do media companies really read or care about public backlash, like all these negative words, people attacking themselves, or is it just noise to them?
There's this song, the secular song,
Okay,
that somebody sang many years ago. It said that if nobody talks about you, then you are nobody.
nobody.
So most of them feel like if nobody talks about them,
Yeah,
do you understand? You are nobody. So some of them, the owner of the media page may not sit down to read the backlash because he may not have time.
yes.
But people around them will send them the backlash, and then he propels them, and they'll be like, if this thing, this as I posted this nude now, see how it came out.
Mm.
Do you understand? It means that definitely we should keep on posting nude.
Mm.
So what people go for, what most media houses go for, is the numbers.
Yes, that is just
Is the numbers, not even the effect that it causes. It's the numbers, the money it brings to them, the name it gives them, the fame, and the rest of the stuff that it gives to them. I think that's what basically most of them don't really go for. They don't go to
Alright.
read it.
Alright, alright.
Because even me as a small person, sometimes I, even me, okay, not a small person, but as somebody who is just starting out, most
Yeah.
times I don't have the time to read what is happening in the comment section. But then I think sometimes we need to read what happens in the comment section, not so that we can conform to what the commenters or the people who are commenting are saying,
Yeah.
but that we can be able to curate better and inspiring and life-changing content
Yeah.
for the people out there.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think when we begin to turn away from vibes, just vibes, and begin to
Yeah.
look at impact, you'll
Yes.
begin to know that some of the things, some of these media houses will begin to change things. But the world is going haywire.
Yes, you're right.
So people are still coming out. And in fact, people are just there. Look at the likes of Pella and Jarvis, for instance. There's hardly any good thing happening on that page. Do you understand? The last time he was insulting a man of God, a young boy like that, when we grew up on the streets. And when they see that they've done a negative thing, and that thing has gone far, it propels them to do more negative things. The likes of them Portable and the rest, they saw that negative things went far, they pushed themselves into negative things. But you are a Christian, sir.
Yeah,
I'm a
of course,
Christian,
I am.
right? In the media space, we are not supposed to do that.
Yes, of course. You're
Do you
right.
understand?
Yeah.
We're not supposed to do that. What we are supposed to do is that if we see that what we are doing is hitting on darkness and bringing light to that place, that's what we are supposed to do the more.
Of course, you're right.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's it.
Well, thank you very much for your
Thank
time.
you.
Really
Thank you, sir.
appreciate
Thank you. I appreciate it, sir.
your time.
Thank
and
you.
I'm very sure
This is Paul Johnson's Academy.
you're trying to wind me.
I'm
So,
winding.
yeah, lastly, before we cut the camera, right? Please, you don't want to tarnish your image because of the likes, because of the comment, because of the reviews, right? Now, some person don't really want to be that bad person they are to be, or posting that bad thing they are going to be. That's not their person, but because it's what it has
Brought them the
yes,
money.
the
Yeah.
money, they just want to just stay there.
Yeah.
So I'm very sure you got a lot in this podcast. So see you in July edition now, right? Yes.
Alright,
Next
yeah.
month.
All right. So look up to Paul Johnson's Academy. Follow him on his social media,
Thank you.
his social media pages.
Yeah.
God bless you and see you next time.
Thank you.